man, here in very familiar territory for me, the Ropes Crossing change rooms here with Ropes Crossing Strikers president Adam Hartas. Adam, how you going?
Not too bad, thanks.
Yeah, all right. So there's been a lot going on in the club since I was here in 2016, 2017. That were your first years at the club. So you're heading into what is your 8th season now?
8th season this year, yeah.
Yeah. So what were your numbers like last year throughout the club?
So we had in total 575 players.
Yeah.
So a massive increase on sort of our first couple of years when you were around, when it was sort of hovering around the 2 to 250 mark.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's still very big for this area because there's been a lot of clubs around the area have only had a few sides and they've fallen over the years in and around this area because it is a tough area with rugby league appeal and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think Ropes Crossing as a suburb is a very young demographic, so it definitely helps our cause.
Yeah. So does the school play a big part in how you're going at the moment too? Because you've got the school next door, so you've got a natural facility to draw from with junior players, which it really underpins where you want your development to be in the future of soccer.
Yeah, so we've got a really good relationship with the school. So we go in there every year and run free clinics at the start of the year. So we'll be in there early to mid-Feb again, running clinics, and we sort of attract some players through there. But I think it's one of our sources for our juniors. He's going into the school and getting that relationship and providing those opportunities for those kids.
Yeah. So, and you've had one of your star coaches been here in the past, Timmy Aiken. He's on the staff now at MacArthur FC, isn't it?
Yeah, so he's still on the books here, but he's at MacArthur and Young Matildas or Future Matildas, what they like to call them nowadays.
So how's the development path going since Tim's been here? Have there been quite a few players that have kicked on and gone to Spartans and stuff like that? Have anybody gone to Blacktown City or anything, or is it primarily Spartans? And
yeah, so a lot of our players do move on to SAP and NPL. Usually year on year we get about a dozen young kids moving on to the SAP program, either through our development programs and progressing into SAP, or some of our guys who sort of put in the extra training going up to NPL or AYL, and the different pathways that's available at a representative level.
Yeah. So have you seen any of the senior players? Have anyone kicked on and gone into NPL? Well, that's all changed now, hasn't it? It's football, League 1, League 2 and League 3.
Yeah, so a lot of seniors, for us, the seniors is more the players coming back to the Premier League rather than going up to NPL or League 1 or whatever it's called nowadays. It's where they can't commit to 3 nights or whatever training. But we've just had one of our older youth players from our successful under-15s teams last year move on to Blacktown AYL 16s, which I think is really good.
Big opportunity,
Yeah, definitely. He's worked hard. He's been at the club from day one at Ropes.
Yeah.
And I've seen him progress over the years and develop as a good little young goalkeeper. So I think he'll do well at that level.
Yeah, and it's good to use players like that as benchmarking and show other people are coming up through the grades, young kids. This guy started with us in like under 8s or under 9s, whatever, and now he's worked his way up under 16s, and he may kick on further, which is good for the area. So how many people live in the Ropes Crossing area, in Ropes Crossing itself at the moment?
I don't have the exact data. I think when the estate was getting built, I think it was going to be for up to about 5,000 people.
Yeah.
That was the targeted range.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's big numbers. Like I think the local school's got about 900 students.
Yeah. So that's pretty big to have like 575 odd people. So on your books when you got about 5,000 in the area, because there's always conflicting interests. Some people won't play sports at all. Some people play league and all these other sorts of things. So
yeah, I think we've done well to attract people from sort of the fringe areas around us and bringing people across the boundaries from the PN League as well, just by providing a sort of professional setup and a good product that players will want to come to play with. Yeah.
You had some good premiership winning sides last year. I know you're over 35 side.
We
took out the bickies. So.
Yeah, no, we had on the field last year was by far our best. So we had 13 in the grand finals.
Oh, that's a big deal.
Yeah, definitely, and had eight winners on the day or on the weekends over the weekends there, which I think is a great turnout for the club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, one thing I really liked is you had, in my first year I was here, 2016 and 17, you had dedicated women's sides. So you weren't struggling to get women's sides. You had a women's side come from day dot, and you've filled the women's sides every season since, haven't you?
Yeah, that's right. So I think each year on year, we've sort of built on our women's and female football programs.
Yeah.
We've grown from sort of two teams. I think last year we had about 7 or 8 women's teams, dedicated women's teams. Plus you had younger girls playing in mixed competitions as well. So I think having that opportunity and continuing to build on our female program is important.
I've seen that you're going to try to focus on having some dedicated girls sides for this year. You're pretty confident you're going to be able to do that? Yeah,
so last year we had in the younger age groups, under 10s, 12s, 14s and 16s in the girls.
Yeah.
And then a couple of all age and a couple over 30s. So I think if we keep building on that, we've got a new female coordinator on board this year who's very passionate about female football. And we're also doing some free clinics for females coming up in February. Yeah. So I think keep building on that, and female football is a growing sport.
Yeah.
You got the World Cup here later this year as well.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I think this year and next year you will see a bit of a increase in women's football in Australia.
Well, it's going to raise the interest that it's hosted in Australia too, so that's going to be a big ticket item. So, do you have much to do with any of the A-League clubs or A-League programs at all at the moment?
No, not at the moment, not the A-League. So we don't sort of get too much out there from them, but whatever we can, we take. But it's usually just a bit of a weekend or a day out at the fields or whatever, and but nothing directly involved from them yet, but it's something we want to sort of reach out to.
Yeah. So I've seen in the Blacktown competition this year, I think it's a master stroke that Blacktown Hills District and also Granville work together to make a joint women's Premier League competition. I think that's the best thing for the game. What do you think about that?
Yeah, definitely. I think having a women's Premier League with the 3 associations is a great opportunity. It's going to make a strong women's league, which will sort of probably rival some of the WNPL quality in that. But I think it's a driving force for women's football in the area. And I think,
So, as all 3 districts are aligned through the whole women's program for seniors, or just for the Premier League?
No, just for the Premier League. So, Granville and Blacktown are aligned for all female programs.
Yep.
So, from under 7s or 9s or whatever they start at, they're all aligned. So, we play against the Granville teams, but it's just the Premier League that's got the Hills involved. And I think that's hats off to the 3 associations for that one. Yeah,
it's very good work to get it over the line and put something out there that's going to be viable for the women. So I've seen some highlights on Facebook. So a couple of worldies you knocked in the last season. Do you want to talk a couple of them up at all?
Not really. It was just a good day out at the grand final, and luckily someone had a camera set up and the game got streamed. So, but no, it's always good to score and always good to hit one sweet. So
So, who's your Premier League coach this year for the Prem's coming up?
We've signed this year Steve Knight from Hawkesbury Hawks, so he's coming across from the NPL setup there.
Yeah.
I think he's going to bring a lot of experience in that, so I think the boys will prosper.
So is he bringing across any players or anything like that? Or coaching staff?
Not coaching staff. He's brought a couple of young players across with him, and we've sort of attracted some more players from the area through contacts. So I think definitely side's looking good this year, and we'll have the under-21s undermining that, all those sides as well.
So the club is doing pretty well with different sponsorship and that too, but if you have more sponsors that want to get on board, how would they go about doing that?
Yeah, so they can contact us, myself, and I can get you in contact with our sponsorship guy, but come through ropescrossingfc@gmail.com, and we can get in contact and work out a deal for anyone. But it's all about providing value for our members. Is our number one game for sponsorship.
Yeah. So we both played in Nepean before, and you've played in Blacktown as well. So what do you think some of the benefits are playing in Blacktown that perhaps Nepean didn't have or might not have at the moment? I know the Premier League comp's very strong now.
Yeah, definitely Premier League strong. In my opinion, the associations run a little bit better in Blacktown. But I think the big draw card is the proximity to every club. So worst case, you're 20 minutes away from a club. Blacktown's a very small area compared to Nepean, where you could be heading up to Wenny Falls or something like that, which is never nice on a cold winter's Sunday afternoon. Or a Friday night, I think that's one of the big draw cards. Is it's close and it's really well run, and the competition's always competitive. Yeah.
Have you got any outstanding players or anything that you've got coming through the system you'd like to mention or anything?
There's definitely a few players. Won't mention them all by names, but there's definitely some younger players that we've got coming through our development squads that have all got potential, and I think there's a couple of young female in that program. It's really got a lot of potential from what I've seen. She was one of the best players in our under-11 mixed competition last year. So I think she'll do really well eventually, and she'll move on. It's really good to see. But there's definitely a lot of players coming through and a lot of opportunities for them.
Yeah. So I noticed you've got now the lockers in the change room. This is a big thing. So didn't have in the past. The Premier League guys, they'd be loving that, wouldn't they? Having their own locker and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, definitely. They when the boys use it, it's definitely a draw card, and they enjoy decorating some of them. But it's just gives that little added professionalism to the side and the change room, and just makes it look a little bit nicer.
Yeah. So if anyone was thinking about playing soccer this year at Ropes Crossing, so how would they go about getting involved to register or anything like that?
Yeah, you can jump onto our website, ropescrossingfc.com, or just look us up on Dribble and you'll be able to find us there, or Facebook is the number one, where Ropes Crossing Strikers, all our information's on there.
Yeah. Did you still need to go through the whole My Football Club to do the rego? That's all changed a bit
It's
now,
all changed, yeah. It's through Dribble, DRIBL, dribble.com. Slightly different system, same outcome. It's pretty easy to use. So,
So there you go. So thanks for your time. Appreciate that today, Adam, and wish you all the best. I hope to get out of here a couple. You got Open Day coming up soon too, don't you?
Yeah, we'll have our pre-season open sort of free clinics that we'll have out here mid-February. Yeah. So we'll have that.
Cool, fabulous. Yeah, thanks for your time, and wish you all the best for season. Hope to catch up with you throughout the year.
All right, no worries. Cheers, mate.
Cool. Keep on ducking, everyone. So put that up soon, and it was a good chat with Adam there. Thanks for that.